can see, I'll read it out. Uh, so it is the location of the position on the plan of the station occupied by the plane table by means of observation to three well-defined points whose positions have been previously plotted on the plan. So we have a plane table. Uh, so we have a plane table which we have fixed over the station. Okay, and we know the 3 points, means three non-points are available. So in this case, we have A, B, and C. These are the three non-points or the non-stations. Okay, and with this one, you are going to orient your table at the point P. Okay, at the station P. So, uh, so you make use of 3 points, three non-points. So that is why it's a no, it is called the 3-point problem. So what is the problem? Problem is that if you want to locate a particular point by making use of the three non-stations, what will happen if we draw receptors or rays to each station that may not intersect at the particular point. In this case, the figure shows the correct orientation. So what happens is the rays which you draw from this particular point to different stations, they meet at one point P. So this is the correct orientations which we want. But generally what happens is due to the errors, you will not be having a single point P, rather you will be having a triangle. Okay, a small triangle here. So that has to be corrected by using different techniques. Okay, so see the correct orientation of the table at P. The three receptors through A, B, and C meet at point B, which is shown in the figure. But the incorrect orientation, the three receptors through A, B, and C, they do not meet at point P. Point P, rather they form a triangle. Instead of point P, you will be having a small triangle. Uh, you'll be having a triangle like this. Instead of this one, you'll be having, because this will, I have drawn. Okay, so similar triangle, you'll be having that figure in the coming slides. So, so instead of a point, you'll be having a triangle between these. So we have to, so that is the 3-point problem. So there are uh, three methods by which we can solve the 3-point problem. So the first is the mechanical method or the tracing paper method. The second is the graphical method, and third is the Lemans method or trial and error method. So we'll be discussing them separately. So the first one is the mechanical method or the tracing paper method. So in this case, you can see the uh, picture here. So you are having three non-stations A, B, C, and the P is the unknown station which you have to really locate on the plane table. So first what we have to do is we have to set the table on point P and orient the table with I so that AB parallel to AB. So what you do is you first you set the table. Then what you have to do is by visual orientation, you align the table in such a way that the station AB and the points that you have marked in this one on the drawing sheet are somewhat parallel. Okay, then fix the tracing paper on this sheet. You have a drawing board, you have place your drawing sheet over here. Then above that you keep a tracing paper and mark the approximate location of P as P dash. So you keep a tracing paper, then you transfer the point P onto the tracing paper as P dash. Okay, then pivot the candidate at P dash and cite A, B, C and draw P dash A dash, P dash B dash, and so that. So at this point, you have to cite this point A. You have to place your alidade along this line. So from P dash, you are going to cite A and draw a resector or a ray from P dash as P dash A dash, P dash B dash, P dash C dash. Okay, all these stations will be cited and corresponding rays will be drawn on the tracing sheet. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after that, uh, you have to loose your tracing paper and rotate the drawing sheet such that the P dash A dash will pass through A. Okay, you are having P dash A dash, but you rotate the sheet in such a way that, or the table in such a way that this P dash A dash, it should meet, it should fall above P dash A. Okay, so what you do is you rotate the tracing sheet, tracing paper such that P dash A dash it falls over the point A. Okay, so now you know that the all these points they meet at this particular thing. So this P dash point, which was the arbitrary point which you choose over the tracing paper, you can treat it as point P, the small p, and you can mark on the drawing sheet. So you can transfer this P dash as point P on the drawing sheet. P dash is written over the tracing paper, right? So you are going to transfer this point onto the drawing sheet and label it as small p. Okay. So now after transferring this point, how do you transfer? You can insert a pin over there so that point will be, you will be having that particular mark on the drawing sheet, and you can label it as point P. So after that, you can remove the tracing paper and join PA, PB, and PC. Okay. So now if you want to check the orientation, what you do is you place your alidade along PA and loose the clamp of the table so that you can rotate it and side the point A. Okay. So you know that this is one. So you rotate the table in such a way that this PA dash falls along P capital A along the line of sight P capital A. So if you rotate this one, you will be having the correct orientation for these. And if you want to further verify, you also place your alidade in this particular direction. You inside the other point B, other station B. So definitely this P and B will be falling on that line of sight if your orientation is correct. This is clear to you?
Yes, sir. Almost.
Okay. Okay, so this is the tracing paper method. You are using a tracing paper for transferring, for identifying the point P on the drawing sheet. So that's why the name the tracing paper method, which is also known as the mechanical method of finding solution to the 3-point problem. The other method is the Bessel's graphical method. So in this, what they use, again, you will be having three stations, non-stations, A, B, and C. P is the point which you have to plot over the drawing sheet. So ABC, you have drawn that uh, location of that particular points on your drawing sheet. So in this method, what they use is they make use of 2 points for sighting, and the third point will be uh, used to draw rays towards it. Okay. So in this particular case, but in our case, what we are using, we will be using two stations A and B, or the 2 points A, small a and small b on the drawing sheet for sighting purpose, and this third point will be used for drawing rays towards it. Okay. So the first one is we have to set the table on point P, then keep the alidate on BA. This particular direction you have to place your alidate. Then rotate the table and bisect A. Rotate the table, then bisect A. So in this particular position, you may clamp the table so that its horizontal motion will be arrested. Then what you do is you pivot the alidate about B and sight the point C. So in this particular direction, you orient your alidate and sight the point C and make sure that it is properly bisected. And this particular line of sight, you can draw and you can draw a line labeled as XY. So XY is drawn in this particular line of sight. Okay. The next step is to rotate the alidate and bisect the point B. But before that, you have to place your alidate in AB location. So in this particular, you place your alidate and rotate your table in such a way that you are going to sight the point B. Okay. So you have sighted the point B. Then what you do is from this point A, you sight point C, then you draw a line. So initially you sight point B, then point C is sighted, then you draw a line such that it intersects at it intersects XY line here. This is XY line, and this the new line, it intersects at C dash. Okay. Then what you can do is you can join C and C dash. Okay, so what we have already done is initially we cited point A, then then you draw, then you have drawn a ray from, sorry, initially you cite A, so your orientation is correct with respect to A, then you cite the point C, then you mark the line, no, XY, then you rotated the table, then you cited point B, then you are going to mark, uh, you cite C for drawing a ray, A C dash. Okay. See, after this, you have to place your alidate along C C dash. Okay. Then rotate the table and bisect C. So you are going to check whether the table is correctly oriented. If the table is correctly oriented, this C C dash should bisect the station C. Okay. At this one, then you clamp the table. Okay. Then pivot the alidate about B and side B array to intersect CC dash. So at B, you are going to side the station B. So you are having a CC dash line which is further extended this way. Then you are going to side B, and which is also extended, and same way you are going to do for you are placing alidate instrument station at A. So at all these 3 points, it really converges at the point P. Okay. So this is the P point, which is of our interest, or which we want to find out. This is the station location corresponding to like which we draw over the sheet corresponding to the instrument station P. Okay. These 3 points they merge at P uh, if our orientation is correct or the work is accurate. Okay, so you can see that the points A, B, C dash P, A, B, C dash and P, it forms a quadrilateral. Okay, and you can draw a circle over it like this. So the circumference of the circle it falls at the, means all along these points A, B, C dash and P, and hence the method is also known as the Bessel's method of inscribed quadrilateral because the quadrilateral is inscribed by the circle. So. Like in general, what we do is we have 3 points. So we have three instrument stations. So two of them we'll be using for sighting. We have chosen A and B, and the third point we'll be using to mark to draw a race. Okay. So initially we sighted at point A, then we draw a ray towards C, then we rotate the table, then we sight point B, then again we mark uh, we have drawn a ray uh, after bisecting the instrument station C. Okay, then what we have done is we further verify the orientation by placing the LED along C, C dash. And then what we do, we extend uh, the rays from at that particular orientation, we extended the rays towards B and A, and we verify that all these rays are meeting in one point, which we label it as point P, which is the instrument location which we want. Is that okay?
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
Okay. So, and we move to the next method, which is the trial and error method. In this one, you have 3 points, A, B, C. This is the point instrument station that you have to be, which has to be located on the drawing sheet. And A, B, C are the visible stations from P, which have been plotted on the sheet as A, B, and C. Okay, that plotting and all we know how to do, and that plotting has been done, and you are at point P now. So set the table at P, orient the table so that AB parallel to AB. You do a visual orientation so that the line AB um, on the drawing sheet, which is somewhat parallel to the instrument locations. So the location of the instrument station. Then what you do is you pivot the alidate about A and sight A. You have to place your alidate here in this way and you sight the point A. And then you are going to draw. Yeah, initially, yeah, before I forgot to tell you. So the triangle formed by combining the station locations is the great triangle. And if you draw a circle with this triangle inscribed, the vertices of the triangles, and that circle is known as the great circle. Okay. So initially, what you do is you place your alidate here, then you sight uh, this particular point A. So you'll be drawing a ray. This solid line represents the ray which you have drawn in this particular direction. Likewise, you draw different points like a ray after sighting the instrument station B, and so this is that ray you will be getting after sighting instrumentation station B. Then if you sight station C, you will be having another ray. See, this is the triangle of error I was mentioning in the first slide. So instead, in fact, these rays has to meet at a single point, but rather they formed a triangle. They didn't merge at a point. Okay, so this which is the error caused in our measurements, which we call as the triangle of error. If the orientation is proper, all these rays, the ray from instrument station A, B, and C, they should merge at a particular point. But due to the error, they form a triangle, and hence the name, the triangle of error. So what we have to do is, so if that is the case, uh, what will happen if the triangle of error is small, the accuracy improves, right? Instead, if the triangle of error is bigger, the error is higher. Is that true? What will happen? The area of the triangle increases. The area of the triangle of error increases. I'm asking you. You're having a triangle of error here. What will happen if the uh, what do we interpret if this area is higher? The yellow portion is this shaded portion, no, in yellow color. So if that the area of this triangle of error is higher means what? What it represents?
Sir, error increasing.
Error will be higher. So to reduce that error, what we have to do? We have to reduce the area of triangle of error. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the idea is simple. So our overall objective is to choose a point P dash in such a way that the triangle of error will be smaller than the previous one. So we have to choose some point P dash arbitrarily so that the triangle of error will be minimum than the previous one, or the smaller than the previous one. Okay, for that you will be having rules given by Lehman, which is so that will be explaining the next slide. So based on Lehman's rule, you will be trying to locate a point from which the triangle of errors form will be of smaller size than the previous one. Okay, so in the next step, you will be getting a triangle of error smaller than the present case. Then again, if you keep doing it so what will happen? You'll be following a trial and error method. So in the successive stages, you will be having a smaller triangle of error, smaller triangle of error, and all. So that, like after a few iterations, you will be having a negligible triangle of error, and which gives you the station location. Okay, so that is the idea of Lehman's rule or the trial and error method. So here are the Lehman's rule. The the first rule is if the station P, this particular station is outside the great triangle ABC. We are having A, B, and C. Okay, or so if the station P is outside the triangle, in our case it is outside the triangle ABC, then the triangle of error fall outside the great triangle. Yes, we got the triangle of error which fall outside this ABC triangle. Okay, the point P dash, the which is the point which we are arbitrarily choosing, should be chosen outside the triangle of error. So this is the triangle of error. So we have chosen a point P dash which is outside the triangle of error. If that is not the case, uh, imagine if the station P is inside the great triangle, then the triangle of error will also fall inside that particular triangle. In that case, the point P dash should be chosen within the triangle of error. Okay, that's why I have written vice versa here. So if it is outside, triangle of error will be also outside. The point P dash, which we are arbitrarily choosing, that will also should be outside the triangle of error. Otherwise, vice versa. Happy one, sir. Excuse me. Sure, sure. Okay, and the second point is the arbitrary point P dash that should be so chosen that the distance from the rays A, this one, no, this ray and this ray, all these rays, the distances from this particular point should be proportional. Okay, so the distance of this particular point P to A should be proportional to P dash A. Okay, distance from the rays AA, this particular ray, and see all these rays should be proportional. Okay, so what we do is suppose imagine for the time if the distance of this particular station is higher to point A, then what you do is you choose this point somewhat closer to this line. Okay, so in the next one, you will be having less error along this particular line. Okay, and the third point is the arbitrary point P dash should be so chosen that it is to the same side of the three rays AA, BB, and CC. See, if you want to choose a point, arbitrary point, it should be on the same side. Either it can be on the left side or on the right side. In this one, AA ray is this one, BB ray is this one, and CC ray is one. And the point you have chosen is on the right side of each of these rays. So this is the AA one. This point is right to AA and right to BB and right to CC. Okay, you can also choose this one on the left side of all the rays. So if you want to do that, this point you can locate it here. There is no problem because it is on the left side of AA, BB, and BC. But you cannot go plot this point here because this is left to AA, but it is right to BB. Sorry, CC. That way you cannot do. Either you choose left side or right side for all the rays. Okay. Likewise, if you keep doing for a couple of iterations, like by trial and error method, you will be having a triangle of error much very smaller, almost equal to a point. So that particular point you can choose as the your point on the drawing sheet. Okay, also like I have mentioned only the three major points. You will be having sub rules and special cases for the layman's rule. So I'm not going that detail in this one because we will not be doing that one. But just for your understanding, I have picked the important rules. And if you want to read about it, you can read the book by textbook by Punmya. In that, it is mentioned the special cases and the sub rules are mentioned. Is that okay? The 3-point problem.
Sir, go to it.
Okay, so let us summarize. So, what is 3-point problem? Like the way you understood. What is 3-point problem? Anyone, please?
സർ 3 പോയിന്റ് വെച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കേണ്ട സ്റ്റേഷൻ പ്ലോട്ട് ചെയ്യണത്.
Okay, so you will be having 3 non-station. So this is a important important section in plane table surveying because this will be asked in your exam definitely. This is of this both the 3.2 problems are very important. Okay, so it is the location of the position on the plan of the station observed with the plane table by means of observations to three well-defined points. So you are having three non-station points, and with that you are going to plot, identify the point of your unknown station. Okay, this is the 3 point, and if the orientation is correct, all the 3 points will be falling, or they will be intersecting at the station point, the non station which we want to locate. Otherwise, they form a triangle. If a triangle is formed, we have to go for different methods, like the mechanical method, or the tracing paper method, graphical method, and the graphical method is the Bessel's graphical method, or or it is called as the Bessel's method of inscribed quadrilateral. And the third one is the Lehman's method or the trial and error method. So each method we have discussed. So by this you will be locating the point, this one. Okay. So that's about 3 point problem. So 2 point problem I'll be taking in the next class. Okay. Hello.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing is, see, I have shared PDF in our group, which is the which are your practical record. Okay, that has to be written in uh, as your practical record in a hardbound book. Okay, you purchase one hardbound record book and write that one, because this material was distributed last year by Srija Miss. So, and thanks to her, she shared that with us so that we can also make use of that document. And each section ends with a problems. So their problems I have mentioned, which problem you have to write there. So when if you go to the last page of the practical 1 and practical 2 document, you can see the problems to be written. I have mentioned the textbook and the problem number. So those problems you can write. Some of the problems were not, they are not discussed in the class. So, but still you will be able to understand once you go through it. So you also, so you write all of them, and if you have any confusion or if you have any need any clarification, let me know. Okay. So up to plane tabling,
Okay, sir.
like anyway, during your autumn holidays or when you get free time after that, you can write your records, so that that will be you know complete by the mid of September or so, and the and in October your semester will be ending, no, October 10th or so. So we'll be having some tight schedule in the month of September, so as to cover the syllabus to the best possible. So before that, if you can finish this writing, so you'll be having less stress during that particular phase. Okay. So I suggest you to use your holidays if possible. Otherwise, the free hours or the library hours you are getting for writing your records. Okay, and I'm expecting you to submit this or to be ready with your record for submission by mid of September.